Hello and welcome. This is me, Mouldy, and we are back for yet another. I say that we haven't actually had a Raw review since the first one, but in the light of recent events where Seth Rollins has been injured for 6 to 9 months, and the WWE Championship has been vacated. So basically, this is really interesting to me because I love Seth Rollins, I really do, but I haven't been watching Raw recently at all. I haven't actually watched a Raw all the way through live since probably about 2 months ago. It's just been really stale. All that's been really happening is New Day doing funny stuff, and even then, it's just recycled from the week before and the week before that, and no real development, nothing really happening. So Raw hasn't really been appealing to me. I've been checking up on results, I've been checking up on what's happening and all that stuff, but really, outside of New Day and things I've heard about the Wyatt family, I can't really say that I've been watching recently, apart from the pay-per-views. But getting into this, no Rollins. I love Seth Rollins, but what I don't like about Seth Rollins is the way that, just basically how the WWE has been booked around him. He's been opening Raw for I don't know how long, well, since he's been champion, and it's just been getting staler and staler and staler. His character's not been allowed to grow as much as it needed to, really. It has grown a bit recently, which I liked, but outside of that, no, it's not really been doing anything for me, unfortunately. So even Seth Rollins, who's been carrying the company on his back, basically with nothing that's been given to him at all, he's done a good job, despite the fact I stopped watching for a while. But yeah, he's gone, and my hopes in watching this is that it'll freshen up a bit. They need to stop relying on Rollins, just opening Raw every night and saying ha ha ha, hee hee hee, and they can actually introduce some new stars, introduce all that stuff. Undoubtedly, it's probably not going to happen, as proven at the start of this Raw, but I'll get into that in a second, by the fact that Roman Reigns is almost definitely going to be winning this tournament that they have put in place. But unfortunately, I'm actually, my opinion of Roman Reigns has changed quite a lot over the past year. I think he's proven himself in the feuds he's had with Bray Wyatt. I think his match at Hell in a Cell was excellent. I think he's improved on the mic. I think his look is brilliant for a wrestler. He's The Rock's cousin. He's everything they need and everything that he needs to be himself. I think he's also very much improved in the ring. I really like his ring style, very stiff, and just lives up to his character. Really, I really like Reigns at the moment, and I probably will get a bit of stick for that. But I've personally really enjoyed his character. Either way, Raw is in Manchester today, so it's pre-recorded, and is the 9th of November. We're in Manchester, and for once we aren't opening with Rollins, but if we aren't opening with Rollins, who else to open with but Triple H, the other person who's been opening all the other Raws that Rollins hasn't been opening. So Raw opens with Triple H basically praising Rollins, saying what a great champion he was, but now we need to get a new one. Introduce Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has proven himself, and Triple H knows this, but Triple H wants Roman Reigns on his side, and he decides to offer Roman Reigns a place in the authority. Roman Reigns, of course, being Roman Reigns, is like, no, shut your mouth, you succotash son. Believe that. I'm not going to join the authority and sell out, you scumbag. And then Triple H proceeds to put him in a match with The Big Show. All is happening as it is supposed to with the Raw, apparently. I don't know what I expected, but I guess this was it. At least a cliched version, and it happened exactly how I imagined it would. Triple H trying to goad in Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns being like, "No, thanks. I'm the top face. You're going to deal with me if you deal with me for about a year until I eventually turn heel, and as people get sick of me, hopefully, well, not hopefully people get sick of him, but hopefully he turns heel, because I think it's much more interesting as a heel. But yeah, that's for another time. Triple H opens, tries to get Roman to join the Authority. He's like, no, I'm not going to sell out like Seth Rollins, what a punk. I'm not doing that, and you're a bitch. And then the Big Show. So Big Show versus Reigns, first round match, fairly standard, slow pace. Big Show isn't the fastest, as we all know. Keeps on slapping Reigns with his big like swatting thing, as JBL calls it, swatting him out of the air. I really like that about the Big Show. I do like the Big Show as a worker, but I think his matches aren't matches he should be opening the show with. Very slow, dull. Big Show, very like routine in his work. Screams, "I am a damn giant" at least 3 times this match. And I think we get the fact that you are a giant, Big Show. We've seen you for the past 20 years in the ring. We get it. You're a giant person, and you're very scary. Big Show then proceeds to apply the worst bear hug ever. Literally just looked like an awkward hug, whilst Roman looks a bit angsty, like a child that has lost his sweeties. Yes, but I do like the Big Show's swats, as always. He proceeds to do a couple of more of those, really looking like he is hurting Roman, and this match was quite good. Not one I would have wanted to open Raw, as I've said, but it was quite decent. Nothing special, nothing too bad though. Big Show reverses the Superman punch into a choke slam. Big Show then gears up a punch. Whatever the punch is he's called. Is it knockout punch? Yeah, knockout punch. He gears up knockout punch, and then Roman proceeds to Superman punch him when he gets up, and then spears for the win. So at least Big Show is out of the question for the title, I guess. But slow way to be starting off Raw. I'm not kind of sure why they did that. I guess they wanted Roman Reigns, which is segment with Triple H, but I think they could have just opened it up with a match, really, like a fast-paced match. Maybe The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, which comes a bit later, but we'll get into that in a bit. Anyway, so the brackets are shown for the rest of the tournament, and we see that there's no one for the New Day in there, which shocks me a bit. Titus O'Neil is in there for some reason, and Kalisto's in there. Sin Cara isn't, neither's Darren Young, and Tyler Breeze is in there, who's actually not had a match yet, so the kayfabe reasoning behind all of this is a bit confusing to me. Breeze is getting a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship tournament in his first ever match on Raw, which is just completely bonkers to me. Yeah, the New Day are tag champions and have been doing really well. They're even aligned with the Authority, so why the Authority wouldn't have placed him into it? I really don't understand that. So, yeah, kayfabe reasoning that is really weird for all these brackets. But anyway, some of the matches look like they are kind of geared towards setting up a storyline. And we have our first match, which is Kevin Owens versus Titus O'Neil. Just before that, though, we get a shot of Wayne Rooney in the crowd, who will come up later. Boos from the crowd, which is hilarious. Obviously, Wayne Rooney, for people who don't follow football, Manchester United striker, and he's been a bit of poor form recently. Not really scoring the goals for Man United. So boos came from the audience as Wayne Rooney awkwardly stared into the camera with his 2 children stood next. I think Ryan Giggs and Darren Fletcher were in the ring with it. Well, not in a ring with him. Jesus, in a crowd with him as well. So it wasn't just Wayne Rooney, but Wayne Rooney's obviously the one getting acknowledged because of his constant Twitter spouts with Wade Barrett. So we see Wayne Rooney, and then we go into the Kevin Owens versus Titus O'Neil match. Owens cuts his music out halfway through and says, "If you want to get the rest of the music, you can buy it on iTunes and put a bit of money in my pocket." Pockets, which, by the way, I have because I have pockets in my ring gear, unlike anybody else. Look at me, I'm Kevin Owens, I'm so damn special. I love this, Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens. He's just brilliant. Really, really is my favourite thing that is constantly on Raw at the moment. If Bo Dallas was on Raw, he would be my favourite thing, but he isn't, unfortunately. Kevin Owens, though, brilliant, great wrestler, great talker. This this match was quite like standard, not exactly a squash match, but Kevin Owens wins with a pop-up powerbomb. Titus O'Neil gets a bit of offense in. There's a bit where they where Owens like slaps him against the corner, and then O'Neil then catches his second slap. It's like, oh no, you don't, and then smack the absolute hell out of him in the corner, which is amazing. So yeah, that was pretty good. But yeah, Owens wins with the pop-up powerbomb, and then takes JBL's hat and walks off. Brilliant. So Kevin Owens is into the second round, and yeah. We then cut to a quick interview from Paige, who will be fighting Charlotte at Survivor Series. Obviously, she's got the home crowd, which we'll play in a bit later. But yeah, apart from that, it's a fairly standard kind of interview. Becky Lynch's theme then cuts in as we have Becky versus Paige. Becky Lynch hasn't actually really featured on Raw all that much, so I was quite pleased to see that she's been getting some matches. I remember reading actually on Reddit that she had a match, but she came out with Charlotte and came out with Charlotte's entrance music, and it's like, how clear is it to you that to like the audience that they're trying to make it to the audience that they don't care about Becky Lynch? She's just there, come up with the other guys, well, girls, and Charlotte's the one they want to succeed, and it's just really weird. Becky Lynch has a match and then comes out to Charlotte's theme. It's just such a weird thing to do, and how are you going to get someone over with the crowd, or even give them a chance to get over with the crowd, if you're just going to play them to someone else's theme and make them look like a complete jabroni? So we get Becky versus Paige this match anyway. Becky Lynch's theme does play, which is brilliant. I do love the theme, Becky Lynch's theme, which might be a bit of a reason why I'm getting a bit riled up about it. But either way, we get Becky versus Paige, and that's brilliant. Charlotte is looking on the television rather than being on it at ringside. Guess is just trying to scout out Paige, I guess, doing that usual Raw thing where they stand to the side of the television conveniently so the camera can get the best shot of them. But Becky throwing out all the T-bone suplexes after Paige's opens with quite a lot of momentum going to the match, but then Becky gets a few T-bone suplexes and it goes a bit weird. Paige gets a random rampage out of nowhere, which is too close to the ropes, and Becky gets a rope break, which is quite a weird spot. Kind of like, I felt a bit out of place, to be honest. I get why they did it, but I felt it was a bit unneeded. And rampage, it always strikes me as something that should be knocking somebody else out. So the concept of someone being knocked out and then just happening to reach their arm out and hitting the ropes, it just doesn't make sense to me, and kind of makes the rampage look a bit weaker, in my opinion. So I don't know about that, to be honest. But Becky gets the rope break off that, and then Paige tries to pull the tights on a roll up a bit later on. Then Becky reverses it and gets a free count and wins. Paige then proceeds to get really angry, throws Becky onto a table. Holy shit, are we going to get a diva through a table spot? No, we're not. Paige is just going to put a submission on top of somebody, onto Becky, on top of the table, which just seems altogether quite pointless. Why? Very confusing. Yes, I know. Charlotte then comes out, rescues Becky, and then Paige just runs off because, oh no, she's going to hurt me. So that's all kind of building up. Nice little match. Do like what they're doing with the divas now. They've kind of got away from the whole teams thing, which I think was a load of bollocks. And yeah, I'm glad about that. And next we've got The Miz versus Ziggler, first round match. Time for Miz to be back in the main event. I think so. Or Ziggler. Nah, who am I kidding? It's what I wrote in my notes. Yeah, I'd love for The Miz to be back in the main event, to be honest. I think he's brilliant. I think he's really improved as a wrestler, as this match showed. He was really, really good in this match, and up until the end, really, I think he was really good. Anyway, I think the match kind of fell apart, but it was a really, really fun. He is a really, really fun worker, and as is Ziggler. But Ziggler, I think, has lost himself a bit recently. Miz, I think he's in good shape. I think he's better than ever in the ring. I don't see why he's stuck in the mid card, but I guess the WWE has their reasons. I just don't see why, if they can give the Miz a main event at WrestleMania, they can't give other wrestlers a good chance in this kind of tournament. Either way, that's another rant for another day. This match was really good. I think this would have been a really good opener to Raw. Like, it was really nice and fast and pace. Like, Miz was always trying to get his finisher off on Ziggler really early on. Ziggler was catching him for super kicks and Miz was dodging them. Very, very fast opening pace. Really liked it. Miz was working the leg as well. Yes, I like this. Trying to gear up to a figure four. Dolph selling the leg. Yes, I like this. Also brilliant. Really fast back and forth. Miz finally gets the figure four off, but there's like literally no reaction to it from the crowd at all. Kind of like out of nowhere after he's like tried it a few times and he suddenly gets it for literally no reason. Like, he doesn't lock him down at all beforehand. It's just tries it, gets kicked off, and then goes back and tries it again, and then gets it. Kind of no tension, kind of building up to it, so it kind of underwhelmed itself a bit. Which is why I think the match trailed off a bit, because up to that point it was really fast. Miz was working the leg. Really liked the psychology of it, and then it kind of went a bit weird. Ziggler gets the super kick out of nowhere and then wins. Can't remember if super kick's even his finisher at this point. Like, it kind of confused me a bit. I thought his finisher was the famouser. No, zigzag is a zigzag, isn't it? He has like 4 different things he uses. But he gets a pin off a super kick, which is kind of weird to me. Really weird match and really odd ending. Not sure what's happening there. I don't know if Ziggler's getting a super kick as his finisher, but yeah. Really weird altogether. So it looks like they'll face either Breeze or Ambrose, which will be decided a bit later on. Next comes Del Rio and Max America with Zeb Coulter. Now this just really confuses the fuck out of me. It's such a WWE thing to do. It's just so weird, out of context as well. People looking at this just think, what the fuck is this company? What are they doing? Why is this meant to be an offensive character? Because it is finally kind of confirmed now that they are heel. Because when they were trying to do a heel work in America, it didn't really work. It was just like, literally the character of this duo is, we are combining Mexico and America and we're working hard together and we are working for a better relationship between our countries. This is, for some reason, meant to be a bad character because obviously Mexicans are so badly thought of in America, and racism is such a big thing now, and it's so prominent in the mainstream as something that everyone is so for. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird. And anyway, they come out and like England's not allowed to be in Mex America because they're so despised by everybody else. People, and for some reason it's just so confusing. Like, they come out and they're doing heely things, and it's like, okay, yeah, that works, I suppose. It was like the foreign heel thing. But you're getting more heat in England than you are in America about this Mex America thing. Which makes sense, because English people hate Americans for some reason. But even then, Del Rio came out to a pop. Everyone wanted to cheer Del Rio. But this gimmick is so fucking seriously shite and dated that it just doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. I don't think Del Rio even needs Zeb Coulter, to be honest. I love Zeb Coulter, but it just doesn't. It just feels so awkward. It feels really, really awkward. I think Zeb Coulter even knows, just by the tone of his voice, that this gimmick is just so shit. Like, they brought Del Rio back, and he's ended John Cena's kind of USA title thing that's going on. And first of all, this is brilliant, Zeb Coulter and Alberto Del Rio, but what they're doing with this gimmick is just so bad. I really don't like it. I mean, I love Del Rio and I love Zeb Coulter, but them together in this kind of angle, it just really doesn't ring well for me, to be honest. So, yeah, enough said about that. The better. Put Zeb Coulter with Cesaro. Keep Del Rio on his own. He's fine. He's good on the mic, or at least competent on the mic. Leave him alone. Let him do his own thing. Anyway, next up we have Naomi versus Natalya, and I seem to remember these two having pretty good chemistry. Naomi has never usually been a very good in-ring worker. She's always been very athletic. She's done some really good things, but never like good psychology-wise. She's always been just like kind of high spot, and most of the time botching those high spots. Kind of superstar or whatever you want to call her, but I do seem to remember these two have had really good chemistry. Natalya is a good worker, of course, and straight away we want Sasha Chance as Team Bad is hanging out outside the ring. Natalia plays along with this, which I really liked. I thought it was quite like unnatural of him at first, and then I realised, oh, actually, this is working quite well because it's kind of like working into the story of the feud of Natalia with Team Bad, where basically she's trying to rile up the other members of Team Bad, that Sasha's better than them, and I thought that was really good. She's kind of playing along with the "We Want Sasha" chants. Naomi gets pissed off by this and then proceeds to slap her. I really like that. I did really like that. I thought Natalia did well there, because it's not something that's often comes across in wrestling, and where they like tune into the chants, these kind of chants, which would otherwise be kind of detrimental to the wrestlers. They kind of play along with it, and I like that. I do really like that. Now, I'm not usually a fan of Natalia, to be honest. I think she's a good wrestler, but I've never really been a fan of her facial expressions. For me, they always just seem off in the ring. She always just seems like she. Sounds like a really shitty thing to say. She always seems like she's enjoying herself too much, to the point where it comes across that she is definitely not being her character. She is being Natalia, and I think that works to an extent. But at the same time, it almost gets rid of the authenticity of it a bit for me. Like her smile, her kind of like smile, it almost comes across to me as like, wow, I'm wrestling, and this is a crowd that is here, and it's like, fair enough, you're gonna be happy about that. That's awesome, but it gets rid of the authenticity of the fact that they are this character and they want to win, and I don't know, I don't like it. But she was very good in this match, very audible. Crowd was behind her as well, which is brilliant. Sasha then attacks Natalia outside the ring, and then Natalia then somehow wins a roll-up, which is cool. Sasha attacks her then, the clunkiest attack I've ever seen. Sasha puts her glasses on Natalia while she's in the bank statement, which was hilarious though. But other than that, the kind of attack after the match was a bit clunky and shit. Out comes fuck Sheamus and Barrett, the buddies, with minus Rusev. I really do like this idea for a tag though. Barrett needs to do something, and putting him with Sheamus, who has the Money in the Bank, is only going to elevate him, which is brilliant. And I think he needs it, to be honest. And Sheamus, he needs to do something whilst he's got the contract, other than just sit there and wait to cash in when the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie comes out, or potentially after Reigns wins this thing. So yeah, Sheamus versus Cesaro in the next round match. I remember these guys both also could go together really well as well. I'm not usually a fan of Sheamus as an in-ring kind of stick, but I have always been a fan of him when he's been against Cesaro. I remember his feud last year was brilliant. I think it was for the US title, can't remember. But yeah, Sheamus and Cesaro, good chemistry. And Wayne Rooney and Wade Barrett have a little feud going on. And Barrett, during the advertising break, rips in to Rooney, and the crowd proceeds to boo Rooney when they were supposed to be cheering him, and cheer Barrett, which is hilarious, as Barrett basically rips into the fact that Rooney's been on shitty form recently for Man United. So that's funny. And then Rooney's kind of in the ring, not in the ring, at the side, watching, and they keep on switching to him. So this comes up a lot in this match. Anyway, Sheamus and Cesaro have this kind of really good chemistry. Cesaro is really over. Cesaro chants in tune to the England chants. For those people who know what the England chants are, it's like, I would sing it, but I cannot be asked. Either way, you'll know what I mean if you watched it and heard Cesaro being chanted in a chanty form. It's basically a football chant for England, and it was good. I like that. I hope that gets over, because I think Cesaro needs everything that he can get, really, to kind of prove that he is money. Anyway, Sheamus does his chest barrel punchy thing, stops at 5, as he always seems to now, has his little heel move. Oh no, you're not meant to be counting along with this because I'm a heel, and you shouldn't do that because that makes me get cheers instead of boos, and I don't like that, basically. So yeah, we then get a Michael Cole saying the winner of this match will face Roman Reigns. In other words, the winner of this next match will lose to Roman Reigns. So, yeah, there's that. Basically, whoever's going to be in this match is going to be going against Roman Reigns, who's definitely going to go into the final. So, unfortunately, either Cesaro or Sheamus is going to be going out. So yeah, many uppercuts I have in my notes. Very, very stiff uppercuts as well. Then proceeds to be a slap fight as Sheamus slaps Cesaro, and then Cesaro slaps him back, and then proceeds to do the whole Hideo Itami kind of slappy thing, which was brilliant, which ends with Cesaro doing that thing where he lifts Sheamus onto his shoulders behind his head, and then like pushes Sheamus out from under his armpit and then like onto his back, which is awesome. I really do like that. Hard to explain, but it is cool as shit. So Cesaro then calls for a swing. Sheamus then reaches for the rope. And yeah, that breaks that up. Weird suplex thingy I have written in my notes. I think Sheamus goes for a suplex, and then Cesaro kind of falls out onto the ring apron, but then onto his feet, and then suplexes Sheamus over, and then it kind of all clatters out outside the ring. Looked really painful. Cesaro was holding his hand afterwards, in pain. Ring out count gets to 9, and then they both get back into the ring. Sheamus catches Cesaro on a springboard uppercut and gets a white noise off, which is a really nice spot. I really like that. And then Sheamus calls for a brogue after he kicks out of the white noise. Cesaro then reverses it into a sharpshooter, a little tribute to Tyson Kidd there. Stiff uppercuts from both of them after Sheamus gets out of the sharpshooter, and Cesaro continues to sell the arm, which Sheamus landed on earlier on outside the ring. Cole says, Cesaro saying, "That's for you, Wayne," after he uppercuts him outside the ring, and then Cesaro gives like Wayne Rooney a little high five. Barrett then proceeds to go over to Wayne Rooney and get in his face and shit, and then Wayne Rooney slaps Wade Barrett, which was absolutely hilarious, and a really weak slap, but it was absolutely hysterical. Wade Barrett falls to the floor, and then Cesaro gets a roll-up on Sheamus as he's distracted by the slap, and that was brilliant. Nice little match, very entertaining, and yes, I enjoyed that. Cesaro to lose to Reigns in the next round. Anyway, Dean Ambrose versus Tyler Breeze up next. I assumed at the start this might be continuing like some sort of storyline between Ziggler and Breeze. I was hoping. I was also hoping for Miz to join the Breeze and Summer Rae kind of duo to get the awesome Summer Breeze kind of angle going, which I really liked the sound of, but apparently not. But Summer Breeze is cool by me. Tyler Breeze's debut here, and again it's Dean Ambrose, which is a hell of a debut to be honest for Raw. And yeah, Ziggler will be facing whoever is the winner of this. So I guess the Breeze has credibility in winning as well. Like, not credibility in that he's over enough as like a performer, but in that he has this feud already with Ziggler, so there's the potential that he could win this match, and it's a bit more out in the water rather than just being Ambrose getting to the final against Reigns or something. Anyway, Breeze is debuting in the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. What the fuck? I do really like his entrance though on Raw. Completely different to his NXT one. Comes out showing his like feet in the dark. I really like that. And JBL refers to Tyler Breeze as a young Muhammad Ali. Wow. Breeze is lots of things, but I don't think that's it. But either way, JBL, that was hilarious. I love you. Baron Saxton produced to come out saying, if Breeze were to win a title, he'd break Instagram. Yes, he probably would break Instagram. I think he'd break the entire kind of WWE universe on top of that, though. Not just a picture website. Summer Rae lets out a ghastly screech when Ambrose nearly suicide dives on her. Ambrose very apologetic about that. Ambrose then proceeds to clothesline Breeze back out of the ring when he comes in on the other side. Then Ambrose then rolls through a crossbody a bit later on. Tyler Breeze kicks out and then gets up and gives a supermodel kick to Ambrose, who then kicks out. Breeze screaming that Ambrose isn't better than him. Really like that. Breeze is being really audible, which is good. Do like that from a heel. Audible in the ring is always good. Really fluid little pinning sequence. I've seen it done quite a lot of times before recently, and that is the most fluid I've seen it done in a while. So very good little sequence there between the two. Breeze sells the rebound clothesline like an absolute champ, by the way. Like, full on, like, his neck lands on his shoulders, but it looks so brutal. Really, really good. So yeah. Ambrose then proceeds to unveil his breasts. The titty matter lives on, as I have put in my notes. His shirt rips up, and Ambrose potentially hurts his shoulder on a landing. Don't know if that was just like kayfabe or not. I'm really shit with that kind of like knowing whether it is or not. Anyway, Breeze seems to have really transitioned well to the roster, is what I'm seeing from this match. He's really, really like looking like an absolute natural out there. Like really, really well done from him in this match. And there's a little spot when he's outside the ring, and there's this kid, little Mancunian kid in the background, absolutely ripping into him, saying, "That's what you get for messing with Dolph Ziggler," and all that. And I just love that. Really added to the match, and it was hilarious. Breeze comes back into the ring, and then Ambrose proceeds to win with a roll-up. Lots of roll-up wins tonight, which is, I guess, a thing. Anyway, if I missed a thing, no, I haven't. I have not. Where am I up to? We have New Day. Yeah, New Day come out. Brilliant. Almost completely forgot that this was going to happen. But this wasn't before, actually. Just get to this quickly first. Manchester City's stadium was shown. Boos surround the arena. So it isn't just the fact that Rooney got booed. Wasn't just the fact because the entire stadium was Man United fans and he was playing awfully. But for the fact that well, yes, it was. Oh, I've completely forgot what I was saying there. Man United fans booing Man City Stadium. Man City fans also booing Rooney. Man United fans also booing Rooney. Everyone's booing Rooney because he's awful to both sides of Manchester at the moment. So, yeah. But Manchester City getting majority boos in the audience. Anyway, that happened. That was quite funny. New Day are here, and they aren't in the World Heavyweight Championship race for some reason, as I pointed out earlier. Kofi Kingston addresses this issue, and they begin to talk about how they laid out Ziggler, they laid out John Cena, and as they say, we laid out Ziggler. Biggie like collapses to the floor, like completely flops like a fish. It's absolutely hilarious, and yeah. Anyway, they decide to dedicate their next match to Seth Rollins, their fallen hero, and they proceed to say, "Oh yeah, by the way, European magic is booty, and Harry Potter sucks." Brilliant, great. Although, wow, calling English people European would have been heel in itself. To be honest, like English people really don't associate themselves as being European. So if you'd said maybe English magic is booty, maybe we would have been a bit more pissed off. But well, what can you do? New Day versus Usos plus Neville. Usos are back. Cool. Also, Neville is in their team, I guess, to get them over because they're in England. But Uso chant is actually quite surprisingly over in their entrance. But yeah, anyway, that kind of happened, I guess. Usos are fairly over, but we kind of learn throughout this match that Neville is quite a lot better than Usos, which is fair enough. Neville is better in ring than a lot of people, if we're being completely truthful here. But yeah, that happens, and New Day does the unicorn stampede thing in the corner, which is hilarious. With very clear New Day rocks chants in the background. It's never really been like that prominent before, but it was definitely New Day rocks over New Day sucks this time, which is brilliant. I can never get enough of Biggie's big splash thing. He gets so much height on it, it's unbelievable. The guy's huge, and like he's jumping in the air, and it is absolutely incredible how much height he gets up on that. Now, honestly, I can't see how that won't actually hurt somebody. It looks really, really painful, but I really do like his splash. Really good. But Neville, really nice little hot tag coming in, jumping all over the place as he does. Neville gets a little corkscrew splash to the outside, which is absolutely insane. Climbs up to the top turnbuckle as everyone's outside and corkscrews onto everybody. Really, really cool. Neville is very over and very good. But he then tries to get a red arrow on Xavier Woods. Trombone's distraction. Big E knocks Neville off the ropes, and Xavier uses ropes to pin Neville. Nice little quick match, very entertaining, brilliant. Anyway, that's all over, and then we go to the main segment of the night, Wyatt's eulogy to Kane and Taker. We've been having, all the way through the night, we've been having these little things of the past of Kane and the Undertaker, and like, oh, their legacy, it's brilliant, all this kind of stuff from their past feuds and all that, all kind of intertwined with like a Wyatt family edit, which is quite cool. It's all kind of building up to Bray Wyatt coming out to give a eulogy on the fact that Kane and The Undertaker are now gone and their souls have been absorbed by him. All kind of a bit silly, really, if you look at it from the outside. But then Bray Wyatt gives one of his best promos yet, in my opinion. Honestly, it might be his best. Very, very good. Very good. This is the thing with Bray Wyatt. Like, I think if he doesn't have an angle, he is dreadful. He is abysmal. He can talk like England. He can talk for his cult, I guess. Not talk for England. He can talk out of his ass, and it can sound very, very poetic, but not ultimately mean anything. But if he's given a proper angle, like he's been given here, he can play it out of the park, and he's really done it here. Like, you get, as soon as he comes out, before he even starts talking, we get Whole World in His Hands chants, which I've really missed, actually. I really liked that from last year with the whole Cena feud. I really did like that. I thought it was really creepy. Nice little play on the kind of not children's, but like, yeah, something we associate with children and like children's choirs and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was really cool. But Bray Wyatt proceeds to talk about how he's consumed the souls of the demon and the dead man. No family tonight with him, by the way, just Bray Wyatt. He asks for people to pay their respects to The Undertaker and Kane. Gets some take a chance, and then Wyatt begins to call them fools as they try to call for him out to come out. As they didn't pass the torch to Bray Wyatt, he took it and he burnt them. And the demons march to the Bray Wyatt's command. Really, really cool promo. I really liked how he turned in the crowd. Really, really engaging, poetic yet understandable, and not just complete gibberish like sometimes Wyatt's promos end up being. I really liked it. And then his little kind of culty thing at the end gets interrupted by a promo on the screen of The Undertaker and Kane. And then thunder strikes and The Undertaker's music plays, and the Brothers of Destruction appear out of the fog. The crowd erupts. Holy shit. The Brothers of Destruction are back. The rest of the Wyatt family comes out, gets beaten the absolute shit out of. Who are you, chants shouted at Braun Strowman. Taker and Kane throw Strowman around like a baby. Double choke slam to Bray. Brilliant. Brilliant way to end the show. Really, really good. Did make the Wyatt family look a bit weak, but I think he needed that. I think he needed it to be a bit more credible, because Braun Strowman up to this point, he's had no one to kind of like challenge him, really. Roman Reigns has punched him in the mouth a couple of times, but apart from that, he's never really got him down, here to say. So I think they needed to have that kind of Taker and Kane kind of looking dominating, looking like they can pose a threat to the Wyatt family, which is good, really good. So I really did like that, and while it did make the Wyatt family look weak, at the same time I think it was needed, because the Wyatt family have been so strong and they needed someone to oppose them soon enough, and what better way to do it than with Kane and The Undertaker, really. So yeah, that is something to look forward to. I guess we'll probably be at Survivor Series It'd be like Kane and the Undertaker's team versus the Wyatt's team or something like that, maybe. I don't know. But that is really cool. And now I'm going to get on to the MVP and the match of the night. Now, personally, the match of the night for me had to be Cesaro versus Sheamus, purely because of Wayne Rooney slapping Wade Barrett. Seriously. I mean, Cesaro and Sheamus have had really good chemistry and a really good match. It was brilliant. But other than that, I think the story around the match was it was really good. I think it was really good, like just like segment. I thought it played to the crowd really well. It was someone who was kind of in their minds really, and I think WWE finally did something right with regards to a English pay-per-view with like celebrity guests in mind. So I thought that was really good. Cesaro and Sheamus as well put on a bit of a stormer. It wasn't the best match by any means, but there wasn't any like absolutely amazing matches tonight anyway. Tyler Breeze and Dean Ambrose might have come close, but I personally, this personal opinion, Cesaro and Sheamus was match of the night for me. MVP, I'm going to say Bray Wyatt. I think his promo was absolutely brilliant, and while he didn't necessarily have a match, I think his facial expressions and his whole selling and everything he did tonight was just absolutely on point. He was brilliant. He played the crowd like a fiddle and did his job absolutely brilliantly. So Bray Wyatt is my MVP of the night, and yes, overall a good Raw. I'd say wasn't any standout matches fair to say, but I think it was good because it was like the matches were different. It wasn't the usual kind of matchups we have, and I'm liking the kind of new feel that this tournament's bringing to Raw, and it's giving me a reason to go back next week and watch it, which is brilliant, which is all I need really from a show. So they needed this Raw to kind of establish what's going to happen, and a lot of that did happen and all that kind of stuff. So it's only going to get better from here, I feel like. So yeah, there's that to look forward to in the coming weeks. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review of Raw. Altogether, it was an alright Raw. Not the best, but I think it did what it needed to. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will be back for the next Raw. Potentially, I might do NXT if people are interested in that. If anyone watches NXT, I do like watching NXT myself, and it's one I've been catching up with. Might be able to do a build up to NXT Takeover London, which I'll be attending live, and then I'll be able to do a review of that, which would be brilliant. So just let me know in the comments whether you want NXT, and I'll see you next week or potentially Wednesday, depending on what you say in response to this. So I hope you have enjoyed this little audio review, and thank you for listening, my friends, and goodbye.